Okay, we're back with more ghostly intervention. This will be the first episode using Deathbringer, which I did a workshop video in the prior, uh, that we transferred the character details for both Graham and Deberman. So just to reiterate, Deberman is a scoundrel based on the Deathbringer class system, and Graham is the mighty Deathbringer itself with a D10 hit die. So something I wanted to do on camera before we start, because I forgot to during the transfer, I forgot to add the defense, the dexterity to defense, which you're supposed to do. So that means Graham is a 15 because of +1 defense or +1 dexterity, and then +2 more for Deberman puts him at the 14 of defense. So that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Everything else is, I believe, accurate. So I got the old dice tray out for this one, and some new dice I found in a D&D 1994. Actually, I'll show you guys. I found this literally just today. This old classic D&D box set from 1994. It had everything still in it: the DM screen, a map. I'll probably just do a video about this, but yeah, everything in here was in great shape. Nothing was used. Even the character uh, figurines are still sealed in this bag. But just wanted to show that off for a second. So that's where some of the dice here showed up. So some colorful dice, the yellow, red. I think the D8 is this one here, the D10. Yeah, it had a nice little arrangement of unique dice. So I thought I'd throw it in the pile, and I put the other white ones away. So let's continue our pursuit here to clear out all of this dungeon from the bandits. Now, in Deathbringer, we're going to make a little shift here on lore. In the world of Deathbringer, there are no other inhumans. It is strictly, or humanoids. It is strictly humans and death. So what I'll do is kind of retweak the lore we've been running on. And there are no orcs, goblins, kobolds, etc. There are humans and spirits, ghosts, which again inhabit this lair. Hence the title of this recently titled Ghostly Intervention that I stapled onto this dungeon crawl series one shot. So we recently killed an orc, but I'm thinking that was just a big husky barbarian human, big, monstrous looking human. So we took care of him, and in doing so, eliminating him, we opened these two doors. So we have to choose a path. So let's leave it to the dice. Uh, Deberman and is going to be red. Blue is Graham. Red and blue. Red is going to see if Deberman wants to go towards the bigger room. Graham wants to go to the smaller room. So let's see who gets the option. 6. So we're going to go to the smaller room. In doing so, um, the party walks through this corridor and they approach a door that is quite massive. It has scriptures on it, scriptures. So what they have to do is read the scriptures, and if they read it successfully, the door will open. The door is trapped if they are unsuccessful in the read. So with Deathbringer, let's see. So advantage would be covering low visibility, having the proper tools, etc. So again, the rules are D&D-ish. We can play around with the rules a bit. Combat will obviously turn into very D&D. But let's see what character will have. I think this will be. We don't have intelligence for either characters. No bonus, at least. So the DC I'm going to say is 12. We have to roll 12 or higher. Let's say Deverman is red, D20. Graham is white, D20. So 12 or more. Well, the red is going to be Deverman. He is successful. Uh, Graham wasn't able to interpret. read the scriptures on the wall. So because of the 18, Deberman is able to read it, and then as he reads it out loud, or at least, mumbles it or quietly just reads it out loud to himself, the door begins to shake, and it opens to reveal this room here, room 12, which there is actually going to be some crates here. There's a lot of crates of food that appear to be spoiled, old rations, dry food. The whole room is just littered with old expired food. And in the middle, there's going to be a dead body, which appears to be a skeleton. So they've come across a little storage room, um, nothing really unique. So they're going to explore the uh, outlining crates, and as they search, let's roll. Do they find anything of interest beyond just spoiled food? Rations. Let's roll D100. I totally forgot. I didn't give a percentage. I'm gonna say if they find anything worth their time, 25% chance. 76, 79. They don't. So they don't find anything in the outlining areas here, but they are going to loot the body. Before they approach the body, the door slams shut, closes on them. They're literally a foot away from the body, and they're both kind of in their own respective spots. I can see Deverman's here, Graham is right about here, and they're looking at the skeleton, and it appears to be a very well dressed, almost like a noble, a very well dressed individual, now deceased. And in doing so, like I said, the door closes, it shakes, the room starts to shake a bit, and there's an ominous voice that speaks, and it's revealed to be the similar voice we spoke to of the spirit from here. The spirit says, after a few moments of trying to speak clearly, it's distorted at first. Let's roll for um, I'm going to say a DC of 10 because the team is already familiar with this voice. They do recognize it, but they're trying to understand it. So red is Deberman, Graham is white. DC 10. This will be wisdom, so +1 for Deberman. Deberman gets a 12, which is good. Once again, Graham is not able to understand. So Deberman tells Graham to quiet. The voice starts to become clear, and it says, continue your mission. Do not, trying to think of what he would say. I believe he's going to say, do not attempt to search my brethren, his body. So this deceased skeleton belongs to one of the ghosts, the spirits that are wandering these halls. So kind of like Pac-Man, I just realized. But yeah, so as they were stepping closer, the spirit spoke up. Took a while. The door closed. It said, "Do not continue your mission. Do not dare touch the body of one of my brethren." So they step back, and Deberman is the one who kind of understands what's being spoken. Graham doesn't move because he's just startled. Deberman says it was the ghost. He doesn't want us to touch this body. So Graham's like, okay, we won't touch the body. So the door reopens and then reveals the path back out. So there's nothing really here for the team, just the lootable skeleton. But if they want to loot it, it would cause something very terrible to happen. I'm thinking if this was like a session with 4 players and I was the DM, if they never went in this room, they wouldn't have that ghost wouldn't have been so lenient they would have been attacked or something would have happened. But because they spoke to that ghost here, they got that warning shot to not loot this body and to proceed on. So this distraction would have been terrible, but luckily the team is going to move on. So they're going to leave this corridor. The door closes behind them. They look back as the door closes, and then they now enter back in this room with the dead barbarian. This door is open, though it appears to be 75% open. For some reason, it's slowly closing. You can hear it grinding against the walls. So they quickly they jump in. They kind of hide in the front here in the corridor, and they see a pool here. There's this pool of water. It's very clear. So I put water in my terrible handwriting. And as they peek around, this floor is just pure marble. It is very clean. There appears to be nothing here. And as they examine the other side of the room past the water, there's probably like a little fog coming, like steam coming from the water. Very, very little steam. This is room 13, and this is room 14, but I can't see it. This is a just the continuous wall. There's nothing here to really give away the fact that there is a hidden room. So I'm going to do a perception roll behind the scenes to see if they spot this from the distance. I'm going to say DC 18 because this is a good 5, 10, 15, 20 or so feet away. So what we'll do one for Deberman. He has a +1 on wisdom, so 18 difficulty. That's a fail. Graham, no bonus. Oh my gosh. Okay. He rolled an 18, I think. Let's get that closer to the camera. Yep, that's an 18. So he's able to he's barely able to notice something unusual about this panel here. He kind of taps the shoulder of Deberman, and Graham says, "Look, that panel seems to be like a lighter tone compared to the other panels. So the color is a little different, barely recognizable." Deberman's like, "How did I not see that?" And then suddenly there's a breeze that he feel coming through the room, and it kind of brushes them by, and they see a stairway right here, and they see light. There is a door. It's closed. It's a large oak door, and there's flames right here that just ignite as they kind of step into the room. So they're right here. These flames ignite. There's that breeze. The doors close. You hear a closing door sound, and there appears to be someone here. Let's say there's two individuals. It turns out these are bandits. They just literally walked in. This is an exit out of the dungeon. So we have this exit here. You probably can see another one on the map, but I'm not going to point it out just yet. And then the general area where we started off camera right here. That was where we started. So there's that entrance and there's this entrance slash exit. The bandits have what appear to be they're very over, they have heavy um, wear on them, like coats. They have boots. They have a large sack. One of them is holding a large weapon, and it appears to be snowing out. So they have snow kind of melting on the floor as they enter. And there's a key around the neck, a very large silver key around the neck of this bandit here. And these guys look more so like they're, I'd say, not necessarily like your typical everyday bandits, but they are scavengers more so than just bandits. So let's call them scavengers. They see the team, they drop their belongings, they draw the weapons, and they yell, "Intruders, what are you guys doing here?" And they also say, "How did you get past Frank or something, the name of the prior barbarian? How'd you get past uh, McLarge Huge or something like that?" The team readies themselves. They say they got some intruders here. So these guys draw their weapons and they run around Skyrim style NPC. They run around the pool and they charge our team. Our team is ready. We have a chance to roll for initiative. So um, remember, we have Deathbringer dice, but you cannot use Deathbringer dice in Let's see. Deathbringer dice is usually D6. So what I'm going to do is keep track of that. Per session, the Deathbringer dice are basically, think of Savage Worlds, Suede, or any of the Savage Worlds, where you have uh, the extra D6 to help you roll practically with everything. So the game here, you cannot use you cannot use it for initiative, which I believe says right here, or on a nat one, you cannot be used to alter or use for initiative rolls. So this is going to be we're going to follow standard D&D combat this time. No more like partial success or rolling. We are going. We're going to play traditionally. Let's get some stats for these guys. They have AC. These are scavengers, and they have AC 12. Let's give them damage die of D6. So damage die D6 with whatever weapons they're holding, and HP. Let's say 6 and 6. So the first one and the second one down there. Okay, red is going to be the enemies. White is going to be our team here. We're going to roll for initiative. I will roll now. Looks like they go first, 15-3. So they're going to attack this first one here and charge and attack Deberman. He has a defense of 14. That's going to be a hit, unfortunately. So D6 damage. That's going to be damage of 2. So let's see. I have to modify. I totally forgot to do a short rest. So my team is half hurt. I completely forgot to do a short rest. I'm gonna put them back near the top of their maximum health. Let's say Deberman is gonna be 14 out of 16, but now he's 12 out of 16. And I'm gonna say Graham has 20 max. I'll put him at 16 for now. So I completely forgot to do that before my current video. So that first scavenger hits. The next one's going to attack Graham. One, that's a critical fail. That gives a hit, a free hit, free attack for Graham. Graham's going to strike back. This is not our turn yet, but this is a free attack. The AC is 12 with a strength of +4. That's a 17. That's going to be hit. So D6. The +4 is also used for damage, and we have a short sword, which is going to be a D8. I'm going to take away that +1. That's from the World of Dungeons rules. Let's get a D8 here, plus the 4. Oh, where did it go? Oh, wow. So 8, 9, 10, 11. That clears the head off of this bandit, or sorry, scavenger. He's gone. I probably should give him more HP. That's totally fine. Um, Now it's our turn. So we're going to roll uh, attacking Graham. Deverman's going to attack +3. The first, the remaining scavenger, let's use our longbow. So here we go. 4, that's going to be a miss. Graham's going to roll. 17's a hit. He has a short sword with a D8 +4. That's me 5 damage. So that takes this guy scavenger down to 1. He's going to jump into the water, and as he does, the water starts to steam up, and he grows to a huge, enormous size, familiar from here. So this water actually gives you a temporary augmentation boost. So he becomes now 12 health and a damage die of a D8. So he's a huge dude. The other guy risked it. Perhaps it shortens your lifespan. So he walks out of the water. He's gigantic. He's just like the other barbarians. Now this guy is uh, fully loaded. So he's going to attack Deberman. Roll for D20 here. That's going to be a miss. Great. He's going to. That's all he can do. Now it's Deberman's turn. Deberman's going to roll for attack against his AC, which still is 12. That's a good hit, 19 with the plus 3. I always keep forgetting to do that. Longbow, D8 plus 2 for defense, actually. That's a 5 damage, so he's down to 7. So 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 right here. Okay, now it's Graham's turn. He's going to attack with his short sword, plus 4 in the roll. That's going to be a definitely a good hit. And he's D8 plus 4. That's going to be 5, 6, 7 damage. And that takes him out. They cut off his legs. He falls dead on the ground. So he's down to 1. Or he's down to 0. Okay, good. So he's out. They took out this guy. Um, the they're gonna loot him. And what they find a his warhammer, which I'll give to the scoundrel, Deberman. Let's see if he can actually carry weapons. Cannot wear. Yeah, doesn't say anything against weapon restrictions. So Warhammer, a copy of Warhammer, 40K. That will also be a D8 for close range combat. He loots 50 gold, so that put him up to 268. So that's 60 gold for this one, or 50 gold for keeping track of this session here. I'll give them let's see, 20 XP. You know what? It's different for this game. A kill, I'll give him 1 XP for the kill. So XP wise, and then gold pieces. I'm just kind of making little notes on the sides, keeping track of what they find per session. There we go. I'll give 1 XP for the kill, for both of the kills. And then gold pieces. Graham's going to loot the other one, the first scavenger they killed. He has 25 gold pieces. So now he's back. He's at 269. And he had a dagger in his pocket. Same short sword. He's not going to take that. But his dagger is a D6. And that's it. So the large sack, they're going to see what that was. Oh, and the key. They take the key. Right. So the silver key goes on Deberman's. Almost forgot that. And they check that large sack, what it was, and it's basically a bunch of large chunks of cut gold, like with a pickaxe. It's a huge bag of gold, all freshly cut. So, or picked wherever they were. And as they're kind of looking through the sack, there's a cold breeze from both directions that encompass the room. The room freezes over, the water freezes, and behind them is a couple of spirits appear, like so, like that. And they turn around. They both are not familiar. They're not previous spirits they encountered before. The spirits start to speak in a very strange language. The team does not. I won't roll for this. But Deberman is thinking that if they're not attacking our team, they are standing, they're floating there. They're transparent, they can be seen through. And the spirits slowly approach the bag of gold. And the team steps back. They kind of let the spirits do the thing, and the spirits kind of linger over the bag of gold, and suddenly the the gold in the bag turns to rock as the spirits absorb it. So they literally absorb the element of gold out of the bag, and it turns the gold pieces into rock, and the bag falls on the ground. And the spirits look very brighter. They look like they've been rejuvenated, like they've been recharged, and they Again, they look like maybe one looks like a maiden with a large white dress. The other one looks like the husband. And they both smile and they look back and they disappear. They kind of just vanish out of the room, and everything else melts over. The water's back. The flames come back, and so the bag is now just a useless bag of rocks. So they're very confused about what just happened, but that is not necessarily the most concerning thing right now. Graham mentions the wall here, so they're going to circle around, go to the wall here, and try to see if there's a button or something that triggers open because they know this is a door. They have the confidence now knowing it's a door. So as they're tapping around, we're gonna roll for. They're looking for anything unusual. We're gonna roll for wisdom here because they're searching. I'm gonna say DC 15 because they're closer now. Plus one on this one. That's a 14. That's a fail for Deberman. No bonus for Graham. That's a fail. They can't find anything. It does again. It does look like a different shade of a color compared to the rest of the outlying walls, but they do not find, unfortunately, um, any way of opening this door. So they have to, unfortunately, pass it. They're not too sure how to open it. So this room is off limits. They do not know how to get in. So they're gonna walk out back into the hall here, pass over again. This whole area, most of the area is cleared, so this area has been cleared for the most part, except for this room. They're gonna walk back into the corridor, and um, they see this bandit right here. He's a short, scrawny bandit. He's looking around very panicky. He's holding a dagger, and he sees our team. He panics and runs this way, runs up this direction. So he looks like he was a scout. So we had a scout here that was looking for our team. They found him as he ran out. He bolted north. So that's where I'm gonna leave off this video. So we did some looting, searching here, which ended up being a skeleton we weren't supposed to touch. We went back in here. We dealt with two scavengers who one did an augment boost off of this kind of fountain of embodiment, and then we couldn't. The team cannot open this hidden door, but they do know of this exit here. But they're not going to leave because they have to clear the dungeon. So that was a missed moment on my part, but the team knows that they can't leave just yet. They have to complete the mission. So let's say the team let's add a little story here. Let's say while they were dealing with the ghost absorbed the gold, the ghost vanished. They're like, hey, the exit's right there. Let's just leave with the key. Let's say that Deverman approached the door, but the door froze cold, and the room shook with that very eerie voice: "As you are not done yet. You cannot leave." And that's it. So the team stepped back. He puts the key away, and now they are back over here. Remember, they still have that key. Not sure what it does yet, but they spotted the scout looking around for maybe the scout was in here, saw the dead bodies of the other now humans, bandits. He's like, who could have done this? And he's been looking around all over the place, and our team just kind of coincidentally ran into him, and he bolted because he's not exactly a fighter. He's just a scout. So now he ran back this way. And that's where I want to leave off this episode. So hope you guys enjoyed. And I do like the Deathbringer game is quite interesting. We'll keep using it for now. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.